what you would charitably describe as a casual fighting game player. I enjoy them greatly, thanks to the unique and colourful character designs, the usually insane story threads, and the banging soundtracks. But I've never been particularly good at them. To me, they're a simple game to pick up. You pick a character, you press some buttons, and they'll punch and kick things. Simplicity itself. Tekken is a franchise that's always thrived on its casual audience, offering a suite of content for everyone to enjoy, from individual character CG endings, extra modes like Tekken Forces, Tekken Ball, Tekken Bowling, story modes and arcade ladders without ever having to go online and face the scary real people. So you're not going to hear me talking about things like frame data, guard crushes or the like. Instead, what I want to talk about is this. Can you buy Tekken as a casual or new fighting game player and have a good time? Can you justify the full price and get good bang for your buck? And thankfully, Bandai Namco also thought this was a good idea, because they helpfully sent my casual scrub backside a review copy to see if a casual can get good at Tekken 8. So, how is Tekken 8? Would I recommend people go spend their hard-earned money? Yes. Seriously though, in my humble opinion, across the dozens of hours and myriad modes, I can say categorically that Tekken 8 is possibly the best in the series. It is a vast improvement on what made Tekken 7 great. It doesn't reinvent the wheel by any stretch, but what it does add, it does to near perfection. I'm not going to go super in-depth to everything new or better, as really I don't want this to be like an hour long, but I'm going to take a quick rundown. Graphically, the game is gorgeous. You can really see the sheer budget this title must have had. Character models, stages, everything is just so polished and pretty. Music is generally excellent and dynamic, however there are some I'm not a fan of compared to others, but that's personal taste rather than an outright critique. We have a nice big roster of 32 characters out the gate, which is great by any fighting game standard. Nearly everyone's new designs are fantastic and full of personality, with only a few that I'm personally not the biggest fan of. Bruh. But that's a moot point due to the fighter customization options. The biggest gameplay change is the new heat system. This can be activated either by pressing R1 by default, or through certain attacks which activate it automatically. While active, you gain access to enhanced attacks, increased chip damage, heat dashes and a heat finisher, which instantly uses the full meter. Tekken has always been a defensive game, and this introduces a new way to be aggressive. If an opponent is turtling you, you can use the heat bar to do massive chip damage. However, this new mechanic does seem to favour characters that were already aggressive, like Hwoarang and the extended Mishima family, and is less beneficial to the slower or more deliberate characters, so I could theoretically see a balance issue. There is also a special control, which upon the press of L1 activates what is basically a, air quotes, simplified control scheme, allowing you to pull off various combos, specials and throws at the press of a button. This can be toggled on or off at any time, and is great if you want to try a new character and see a good snapshot of what that character is capable of. You don't get access to the full moveset, naturally characters have an obscene amount of moves, but enough to get a feel for them. Another new mechanic to Tekken 8 is recoverable health. When damaged, a portion of your health bar is yellowed out, and damaging your opponent will gradually recover that health, adding another tactical layer to combat. Important key things are the three story components, the main of which is, obviously enough, story mode called The Dark Awakens, which is far longer, in-depth and better presented than it was found in Tekken 7. I'm not going to get into it to avoid spoilers obviously, but trust me, it is worth the effort. The second is character episodes, around 4 or 5 fights for your chosen character, at the end of which you'll get a good old-fashioned CG ending, which range from serious to quirky to funny to downright absurd. I know the days of unlocking characters is long since past, but I'm glad we can still get our endings like the good old days. Third, and possibly most importantly, is Arcade Quest. In this mode you create your online lobby avatar and find yourself in an old-style arcade. You can challenge NPCs and progress through a story to reach the top of the arcade scene. This mode essentially forms a very, very in-depth tutorial and is excellent for teaching you how to play the game. It's also good for unlocking items for the fighter customization, more on that in a minute, and is fantastic for earning fight money. Another reason to play Arcade Quest is quite early on you unlock the Super Ghost Battle mode. This allows you to fight against ghosts of other players, either meeting them in arcade or downloading them directly, or fighting your own ghost. Now this ghost will learn as you play and will adopt your style and only gets better over time. You can also meet or download developer ghosts if you really want to get a challenge. It is some kind of dark magic powering the ghost AI, and some have posed a formidable challenge. So far, this mode is also fantastic for also unlocking customization items. There's also a comprehensive training mode with all the usual suspects, from changing opponent behaviour to pinning specific combos to try in real time. However, possibly the most interesting of all the accessibility features is the new replay and tips system, which allows you not only to re-watch any of your matches while providing real-time analysis and suggestions on how to improve, but also allows you to physically take control of your character at any time during said replay to try and play it out different. It is a stunning feature and is invaluable for learning against tricky opponents. Customization returns from Tekken 7, but honestly this is one of the few things that 7 done better. Tekken 8's customization might actually be a little step back compared to its predecessor. It doesn't seem to have quite as many items or options per character, but that being said, it still offers a large amount, and I find myself still being happy with what's included, especially considering that other games would likely charge for the amount available. Also, having extras available by playing Super Ghost mode and Arcade Quest helps to give players even more reason to get stuck in. As opponents in Arcade Quest and Super Ghost battles are using player ghosts, you also get to experience various costumes that other people have put together. Now, before we move on to the online mode, just to wrap up what I haven't touched on here. Tekken Ball's back, it's great fun, it can be played online as well, it's just heaps of fun, worth doing. There is a jukebox mode which has music from practically every Tekken, it's quite comprehensive. There's a gallery which includes not only tons of excellent artwork, but also a series of short recap videos to catch you up on the stories of Tekken 1 to 7. Online in Tekken 7 was, how should I put this, it was woeful. Delay-based netcode made many of the matches I had in my time with the older title an exercise in frustration. I am then very happy to report that Tekken 8 is a total improvement across the board, with rollback netcode as well as complete crossplay across all available systems, which to be fair I have experienced some connection issues with that going between that was Xbox and PC at the time, or Xbox and PlayStation, but generally I've had very little issues. Wi-Fi connection matches are always a dice roll at the best of times anyway. Across many battles I've had so few issues, it deserves the praise. Matchmaking has been consistent and relatively quick, player rooms are much the same. My only real complaint for online is the lobby itself. It looks fine, it's pretty, it's gorgeous, and has various areas, but there's just isn't anything to do. All you can do is wait. There's no mini games or distractions, just player matches or matchmaking. And it does feel like an oversight, especially when you compare it to the likes of Grand Blue Fantasy vs Rising, which has the crane game, football, or soccer I suppose, for those of you in the colonies, and so on. Tekken 8 is not only the best Tekken game in many, many years, in a time where in recent memory we've had the likes of Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, Grand Blue Rising. It appeared as an absolute powerhouse of gameplay, graphics, music and style. It is a near total improvement over its predecessor and delivers incredible value for money for being so content and feature rich to put other fighters to shame. There are some minor gripes, the customization system not being quite as robust as the last, the lobby needing some improvements in player engagement and possibly some balance changes to the heat system, but none of these things come even close to holding Tekken 8 back from being the absolute king of its domain. Now, once again, thank you to Bandai Namco for providing a review copy of Tekken 8, and thank all of you guys for watching. Thanks for your time and your patience, and I'll see you next time.